Okay, little sweat equity, I got the screw in there. Okay, now I have a ground wire here, and I've got a long enough pigtail, so I'm going to install that directly onto the light switch itself, or the light fixture itself. Now, if this ground wire was tagged off and cut off back in here, I would then have to attach the new ground wire from the light. Let's show you this here. So here's the new light fixture here. The nice light, and it comes with the ground wire, which is the green. It's got a white wire and a black wire. Okay, so I've got 3 wires there, and this is all that came with it here. See, 1 screw in the middle, and it's important to read that. See, that says up with an arrow, so we want that facing up. Usually that's how it works anyways, because the motion is down here at the bottom. Okay, so that's it. That's going to get screwed up there. But see, because I've got a long pigtail, let's just talk to you about the ground wire here a little bit. If there was no pigtail coming out of the box, you could take the new ground wire, strip it back a little bit, screw it around the ground screw that's on this box. But the funny thing is, on that box, that box is not a metal box, it's a plastic box. Okay, so it's probably the best that I not use that ground screw anyways, right? Because I'm only grounding this metal strap to a plastic or a hard plastic box. So I'm glad it has the long ground wire. And so I'm just going to take this ground screw out of here. I'm going to save this ground screw for next time I need it. Sometimes you might need just 1 ground screw. You don't have to go to the store and get one if you can take it off of something like that, because I'm going to connect the ground right up to that. Okay, so come back down here to my light, and I look on here. This is stranded wire. Okay, well, I'm going to take that and I'm going to wrap that all around. And you notice it doesn't stick out very far, does it? I'm going to make that longer. And so I'm going to strip the wire back. I'm going to twist it around first. I like these strippers too. Usually most strippers have different little stripping areas for different size wires, and there's some cutters on here. There's a hole here to do some other tricky things. Okay, nice little strippers. You got to get some of those if you're going to do some little handy projects around the house. I'm going to strip that off a little bit. With stranded wire, you can just strip off a little bit at a time to try to get it so it doesn't pull any of the excess wire strands off, let's say. So I'm just going to do that a little bit and a little bit more. Yeah. As you're stripping the wire, you want to make sure you don't use the wrong stripper hole, because you could still strip the plastic sheathing off the outside, but if you take some of the strands off too, it's not going to be as strong of a connection. Okay? So if you happen to do that, and if your wire is long enough, then you can cut it off and start over as you're stripping the wire. Okay, I took off a little. I'm going to take off a little bit more. Now I take all the stranded wire and I wrap it around itself. That way it's one stiff wire. Makes it a little bit easier to connect under the wire nuts. Okay? And the light fixture came with 3 wire nuts. Okay, but I've got the 3 that are up there, and those are brand new wire nuts as well. Okay, so I'm going to take those wire nuts off. Now, let's just zoom you in a little bit. I can just do one wire at a time. I got to hold the whole light fixture up here. I'm going to take that and kind of wrap it around it. Just one little turn like that. Put the wire nut on. Okay. Then I like to kind of pull on it and make sure it's tight. You might think, oh yeah, it's got to be tight. Well, you'd be surprised. Sometimes you think the wire nut's tight and it's held on there at a certain way, and you pull on one of the wires and son of a gun, it comes right off. Sometimes that'll happen, not always. Okay. I first made sure that the wire is straight at the end. Okay. Kind of wrap it around just a little bit. The wire nut up there, hold your mouth just right, and twist it on there. Okay. You want to get it on there snug. You don't want to try to overdo it. You could think the tighter the better. You get it on there so tight, and maybe you break the wire tip right off without even realizing what you're doing. I've done that before. Okay. Lined up. Twist it on there. Okay. Pull on that. Looks good. Bye, Mr. Wire. Push it back in the box like that. Let's get the white wire pushed in there. The ground wire pushed in there. Back and forth. You can S it in there if you want. Oh, I got where's my long screw? I guess it's down on the ground. Now I can just hold this here, let go of it. Voila. I'm going to keep the camera rolling. Got the screw here. And see, this is the only screw that's going to attach this up here. And before I do it, there's not much of a back in there. It's almost up tight, so I got to kind of finagle these wires. They should have. Make sure this is facing down. Remember, so there's an arrow on the back of here that says up. I know this is facing down. I'm just going to kind of push in my excess wire into the back a little bit. In the box. Hold that up there. Oh. Fish my screw in there. Not sure if I'm hitting in the right spot. So I can pull it out and look back behind there, and that's where it's going to line up. Sure. Pushed in there tight. I wish this cover was bigger. It's just barely covering the stucco. And what they say is after you get this in, is to put some silicone over the top. First things first, let's get this tight, shall we? I made sure no wires were directly behind this one long screw. Why? We'll look at that. I want these both kind of horizontal, straight, with this facing down. I can readjust this. I can readjust these lights by undoing these side deals. First thing I want though is for this box to get tight. Tighten it up some more. Snug as a bug in a rug. You'll be able to feel when it's snug. Looks pretty good. Hey, you don't have to be an electrician to do this. Okay, looks good. There's your next step.
Well, that's all I got for this time. But I'll be back with more videos.